In the tapestry of life, in every thread, there is a choice. I want you to chew on that for a moment. Some choices are monumental, but these choices have the capacity to shape the fabric of our destiny. I'm teaching this already. We might see them as small, we might see them as insignificant, barely noticeable, but they shape the very fabric of our destiny. It's not the big choices that do us in. It's the small, daily choices that we make. Although they might seem small and insignificant, these choices eventually end up shaping our destiny in a way that we couldn't even imagine. And that's why the story of King David, this journey of the king, the man after God's own heart, it was in the small choices that weave throughout the tapestry of his life that shape the destiny and the course of his life. Now, I'm going to come back to the story because the story is powerful. Because in this story, you all, it's not just a tale of passion and betrayal. Digital pastors, drop this in the comments section. It's a cautionary tale about the power of small choices. Even though it happened years ago, it's a cautionary tale of how choices can shape the destiny of our lives. Now, we're going to uncover some things, and it's going to be a little uncomfortable. So come on, buckle your seatbelts. Put up your tray tables. Let your seats up, put them in an upright position as we dive through this word of God together. Are y'all ready? Let me know in the comments section. Now, before we get a chance to chew, Linden, man, I got to set the context. I've got to prepare the meal and put the meal on the table so we can understand what's going on. Now, King David is the leader. He's the ruler. As a matter of fact, he's the second king of Israel. He succeeded Saul and considered one of the most prominent kings in history. Now, at the beginning of the chapter, David is at the peak of his power. He's had military success. And he successfully united the tribes of Israel. He's established Jerusalem as the capital city, and he's brought stability to the nation. However, this focuses on the dark side of David. This is the cautionary tale. This is the moment where a few small decisions jacked up his life. And I'm going to give you the blueprint on how to mess up your life. But let me tell the story like I know how to tell the story. Y'all ready? And I thank my digital pastors, man, because they're helping me preach this thing, you all. Man, it's so good. Now it says, in the spring of the year when the kings normally go out to war, David sent Joab to go and fight for God's people. And in the midst of doing that, verse 2, or the B part, or verse 2 says, late one afternoon, after his midday rest, he got out of the bed, walked around the roof of his palace, and he looked out over the city, and he noticed a woman of unusual beauty taking a bath. Y'all, can I preach this thing like I really feel it? Because in these two verses, we see the consequences of small decisions. We understand the gravity of David's actions and the subsequent consequences that unfold throughout the rest of the chapter. Look at what the text says. He's supposed to be off at war, but he stays behind and let another man handle his assignment. So if you want to mess up your life, the story tells us that we learn first and foremost the main problem that both David and Bathsheba had is that they were casual regarding their assignments. They were casual with their assignment. David's assignment was to lead the people in war. But the text says he stayed behind, sent another man to handle his assignment. Are y'all hearing me today? Now David wasn't just a man, he was the king. And the role of the king demanded that he lead his army into battle. But instead, he stays home, neglects his duty, and therefore opens the door to temptation. Y'all ain't taking notes. Nobody's praising God like I thought that you were praising God. So when you want to mess up your life, become casual regarding your assignment. That's what David did. Now, Bathsheba played a role too, dog. Come on now, it takes two to play. We know she's a wife and a woman in the community. But her actions had implications beyond herself. She was casual with her assignment. And because she was casual with her assignment, you don't think she knew when David walked around the rooftop? Because the text indicates that this had been going on continuously. It wasn't just a happenstance or circumstance. No, he knew when to get up, walk around the rooftop of his palace. He's at the rooftop bar or the rooftop restaurant, whatever you want to call it. And he knew at the right moment, sister girl was going to take a bath. And so he was there at the right place at the right time. So when you want to start going down that slippery slope, it's because you became casual with your assignment. Now, one thing that I'm clear about is the assignment that God has me on. I'm clear of what he's assigned me to do. He's assigned me to Mars Hill during this time and this season. He's assigned me because I believe that I have the right mindset, the right heart to be able to bridge technology with things that are in person. And he put me here not to be casual with it because it creates that danger of neglect. See, when we become casual about our assignment, we create a vacuum when we neglect our assignment. And nature abhors a vacuum because when there is a vacuum, something or someone will fill that space, leading us to the path of temptation to make a poor choice. Casual with your assignment. Man, I thought I was preaching this better than y'all are saying it. That's what happens when you want to jack up your life. Just become casual with your assignment. You ever hear parents say, don't play with fire? It's like playing with fire. If you don't watch it closely, it can spiral out of control and cause irreparable damage. Are y'all hearing me on this today? So when you think about your assignment, you got to reevaluate your commitments, reevaluate your responsibilities. Are you giving them the attention that they deserve? If not, it's the small choices made consistently over time that lead us to jack up our lives. David and Bathsheba were casual regarding their assignments. Are y'all hearing me today? Now, watch this. Let me go back to the text, man. Let me go back to the text because I don't think y'all believe me. I don't think y'all are walking with me. Where do we leave off? Here it is. Let's go back to the text. Let's go back to the text because I don't want y'all to miss what I'm saying. Look at this verse number 3. David's walking around the rooftop, got up from his bed, walking around too, casual with his assignment. And he sees a woman bathing. She's very beautiful. Look at verse 3. David sent someone to find out about her. The man said, now this is with a little side, this is a side eye. Somebody dropped those side eye emojis in the comments section. I need to put one on the screen. In verse number 3, he sent someone to find out who she was, and he was told, wait a minute, bruh, that's Bathsheba, bruh. The daughter of Eliam. He's calling the roll call of people that you know. Man, that's the wife of Uriah the Hittite. Thank you, Kenyatta. That's how dude's looking at David. With the side eye. Dude, bruh. You want to go there? And so in the midst of that, verse 2, look at what it says in verse number 4. Man, y'all laughing at me in the spirit. I see y'all laughing at me in the spirit. And once he finds out that that's the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite, look at what David did. He sent someone to find out who she was. If you want to jack up your life, learning from the lives of David and Bathsheba, first we understand they were casual regarding their assignment. Here's the second step. You want to jack up your life, they were careless with their ambition. Careless with their ambition. You teaching this, Clarence Edward, and ain't nobody saying nothing about it. Look at what the text says in verse number 4. He sends messengers to get her. Dude. And when she came to the palace, he slept with her. She could have said no. Careless with her ambition. And she had just completed the thing. I'm not going to say that because I don't want any strikes against me. Then she returned home. That's right, Jacqueline. Man, I love my members. That's a side eye right there. That's a side eye right there. They were careless with their ambition. Now, digital pastors, drop this in the comments section. Ambition can be both good and bad. Y'all killing me today in the comments section. Linda, he's screaming from the back. Preach! Y'all are funny. Kiana said she knew what was up, man. Y'all are killing me today. Charlie Soul, I'm doing the best that I can. Careless with their ambition. Ambition can be both good and bad. That was a choice.
I'm sorry.
Desire can achieve us to do remarkable things, but in this case, his ambition was misguided or misdirected towards that fleeting moment of pleasure, leading David to make a devastating choice. Now, Bathsheba's ambitions may not have been spelled out in the text, but her actions suggest a lack of foresight. She may have been careless, not considering how her actions could be perceived or what the consequences might bring. When you are careless with your ambitions, you're weaving into the fabric of your destiny a powerful downfall. Careless with your ambition. And see, you know what David's thinking. Immediate gratification. Digital pastors, drop this in the comments section. Immediate gratification blinds us to long-term consequences. Man, I needed this message when I was younger, you all. Immediate gratification blinds us to long-term consequences. It's easy to become careless when we're chasing what we want and when we want it right now. My God, Junior, you preaching this thing today. You ever came to a swimming pool or a lake or a pond? See, that's why your boy, I only swim in swimming pools because that's the kind of swimmer I am. I'm a swimming pool swimmer. I don't know anything about swimming in lakes and ponds and oceans. Your boy is a swimming pool swimmer. You know why? Because they tell you it's 3 feet, 5 feet, 7 feet, 11 feet. I know how deep it is before I jump in. But when you're in a lake or a pond or the ocean, man, you better not jump in the water without first checking how deep it is. Teach Clarence Edward. Yeah. You might be confident, you might be excited in the beginning, but without researching how deep that water is, you can quickly find yourself in over your head. You can get caught in a riptide. You can get caught in something that can pull you under. You better check how deep it is before you decide. Teach, Junior. I'm doing the best that I can. So we can learn from both David and Bathsheba. Take a moment to reflect on your ambition. Are they aligned with what God says in your long-term goals? If not, you got to recalibrate your desires to avoid the pitfalls and the consequences. They were careless with their ambitions. They were casual regarding their assignment. I'm gonna go ahead and land the plane, you all. I'm gonna land the plane because I want to make sure that you catch what happens. Let me jump up back here to verse number 4, and then I'm gonna swing on down to verse number 5. Look at this, y'all. David sent messengers to get her. Dude, bruh. And when she came to the palace, he slept with her. At least he waited, or both of them waited, until it was right. The text said that, not Clarence Stowers. Then she returned home. Lord Jesus. Jump on down to verse number 5. Man, this text is so good, you all. I can't even hold myself. Then verse 5, watch this. Look at this. The woman conceived. Send word to David. Second set of 3 words every man fears. First one is we need to talk. Every brother know what I'm talking about. Man, when my wife said we need to talk, man, boy, the anxiety bills start sweating profusely. Because they minds, they got a lot of things on their minds, so you don't even know where it's coming from. And we got a singular solitary focus, and we sitting there, could it be this, could it be that? But those next 3 words, later, when Bathsheba discovered that she was pregnant, she texted the old boy, didn't she? I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. Oh my God. So that leads us to the final. Man, I had 2 more, but I'm only going to give you 1 more today because I'm going to cover the rest, you all, in my breakdown, my rewind, you all. Y'all ready for this? Let me go ahead on and land the plane. Step number 1, casual regarding their assignments. Y'all ready? Step number 2, you want to mess up your life, become careless with your ambition. And then finally, here's what they did, you all, man. They were calculating or calculated with their actions. Teach Clarence that what they calculated that thing. Y'all don't believe me. Now, let me walk through the text. I'm going to show you something one more time in verse number 4. This calculating. He sent messengers to get her. Calculating. She came to the palace. Calculating. And on top of all of that, she had just taken care of her female duties. Calculating.
I don't know.
Then she returned home. Calculating. Y'all let me preach this thing better than I can, you all. And look at what happened. Then, after all of this, verse number 5, she's pregnant. Calculating. Sent a messenger to get to David to let him know that I'm pregnant. Calculating. Then David sent word to Joab, send me Uriah the Hittite. So David sent him to David, calculating. My God, y'all see all this calculating stuff that's going on in the text today, man? When you are headed down a slippery slope, you become calculated with your actions. Don't ask me how I know. Now, here's the thing that I want you to get, and I'm going to close this thing out so I can let y'all ponder. It sounds like to me that they were planning their sin. Oh, teach this thing, Junior. They are planning the very mess that they're about to get themselves into. Calculating. David saw her calculating, and then he desires her calculating. This wasn't a spur of the moment mistake. This was a calculated act. They had been planning this for some time, y'all. This is evidenced by sending for her rather than going to get him for herself. You know how he did it. And he knew what he was doing, but he chose to do it in spite of calculating. My God, that's right, Marcy. Pulled a Maury Povich on him. You are the father. Oh my God. Calculating. But I can't leave y'all out, sisters. Bathsheba was also calculating too. She knew when to go on the roof and show all of her goodness. Calculating. She had a choice to say no or consider the implications, but she went along with it anyway. Calculating. Ultimately, it was her choice, and she chose to accept the invitation. Calculating. There's a weight that comes along with making deliberate choices. Are y'all hearing me on this today? When we make calculated decisions that lead to disastrous outcomes, the weight of the consequences tend to be heavier than the of making the right decision. Calculating. And when you stack these 3 decisions on top of one another, then it positions us to lead towards our downfall. It's like riding a bike. You ever rode a bike down the hill? When you ride a bike down the hill, you pick up speed. And you pray that nothing is in your pathway to obstruct you. You pray that nothing can come out and make you detour, because as you're going down the hill, you're picking up speed. You're picking up more and more and more. All of a sudden, you better pray those brakes work. Because if the brakes don't work, and you're getting ready to go into incoming traffic, you'll find yourself in a position that you did not think was possible. So before making any decision, especially significant ones, pause and think. This stage of my life, I got to weigh the pros and the cons and consider the implications. Because I want you to know this as I close. David ends up making a bold and calloused decision to kill Uriah, the husband of Bathsheba, to cover up his dirt. And that leads to a ripple effect. She's pregnant, the baby dies. David kills a man. The prophet ultimately confronts him, Nathan, and he loses a lot of influence. This was one of the reasons why David couldn't build the temple, all because of his actions. And so you all, this is a cautionary tale for all of us, showing us the devastating effects of being casual with our assignments, careless with our ambition, and calculated in our own actions. But it does offer a glimmer of hope. And that glimmer of hope revolves around the fact that God is gracious. At any moment, they could have stopped the trajectory of making bad decisions, but they did not. You can. We have this story in front of us to show us that there is a path of redemption, that we can stop and pull the plug at any moment so that we endeavor to live abundantly every day. Y'all all right? Go ahead and let me know in the comments section. That's right, Gwendolyn, we have a choice. We have a choice. And since we have a choice, cover-ups will backfire sooner or later. I like that. I'm going to add that to my list. Thank you. God bless you all, and I pray that you had a blessed time. Frank, bless you, man. Good to see you on. Woods for life, brother. Good to see you on. My God. Go ahead and let me know in the comments section, you all, what stood out today. Let me know in the comments section what stood out today. I'd appreciate it. And then once you let me know what stood out, could you tell me what's your next move? What are you going to do? I gave you the recipe for how to mess up your life in 3 easy steps. I pray that you reverse it and use it to the best of your ability. So let me know what stood out and what's your next move. My God, what a day. What a day, what a day. I can't wait to see what you said. Lyndon says, man, ambitions can be good or bad. That's right, brother. I've had my share. Waltrina, be careful of the choices that you make. Kenyatta says, be careful in life when it comes temptation. Thank you, Betty. Betty says, what an awesome word. Thank you very much. My pleasure. I appreciate that. Were you helped today? Were you helped? I pray that you were. Wow. For those who may not know, I put together a breakdown of my messages. I call it the Breakdown Sermon Rewind, where I go in and give you timestamps to go back and revisit certain points in the message. And then I write a weekly devotional that you can reflect on a certain segment of the message. And then I send that out via email on Mondays. And if you would like to be a part of that list, if you're already on my email list, then you can vouch for the excellent content of the breakdown for those who would like to receive it. And this is free. If you'd like to receive it, then all you have to do is text the word notes, 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 to 33777. That's it. If you text the word notes to 33777, then you can be a part of the breakdown. All right?
You are now in the presence of a